Hallo liebe Rap-Spot-Besucher, wir sind immer noch auf dem Splash und heute sind jetzt zu Besuch the one, the only, the legendary, the Looptroop Rockers. Great to have you guys, it's a pleasure for us. How are you doing so far?
We're doing really good actually. We had a great time here and I think we're gonna have a few more hours of good times here before we leave.
Yes, I just took a swim after the show. We had it was maybe a little too hot during our show, but I'm still, it has ups and downs to do an early show like we did today. When you do an early show, then you can just relax the rest of the time and just chill, and you don't have to be nervous or anything. But of course, if you do the show when it's getting darker and it gets more that energy, but I still had a really good time. It was a nice vibe and more like a laid-back show. It's cool.
Cool, great to hear that. Your actual album, which was released 2 months ago, which named Professional Dreamers. How was the reaction so far from the fans, from the media? Did they like it?
They loved it. Naturally, they loved it. We got really good reviews actually, and not a problem, but a thing for us has been like when we release an album, I wouldn't say all of the fans, but there's always like a little part of the people that listen to us who'd be like, oh, the last album was better. They always say that, and I think that's because
they couldn't say that this time because they didn't like good things.
Exactly, but I think it has to do with when a new album is out, and if you consider the old albums classical albums, you need to spend some time with the new album to get new memories, and you'd relate to it a little bit more. But surprisingly, this album was easier because this album, it felt like people accepted it really well, from the beginning, and I think we were really happy with it, so I felt good about putting it out, and it felt like they were really happy with it too. So it was a good thing for both of us.
And now with almost no record sales, it's kind of hard to measure the popularity of an album. Like all you can do is watch the views on YouTube, and you can feel the vibes at the show. If people get into the new songs, if there's a lot of people at the shows. And we had a European tour in May in Germany, Switzerland, Poland, and Czech Republic, and we've been doing Norway, Finland, Sweden as well. And it's been really great in all those places. So it feels like there's a lot of support for the new album. It's always hard for us to say, but that's just the feeling we get.
It was called Professional Dreamers, like I said. How did you come up with a title? Does this dreamer describe you as a person also? Or is this something special?
Yeah, I think the title describes not only us, but a lot of people. But the funny thing about the title was that I went to my friend's office and he showed me these old pictures of brains. And it was weird because, and he told me his uncle just died, and he got all these pictures, and he told me that my uncle was the first person to take color photos of dreams. So I was like, oh, this is great. I want to use this for something. This is an album cover or something. And he was like, yeah, if you find a project, you could use it. And then Promo called me like an hour later, and he's like, oh, I just saw this documentary called Encounters at the End of the World, and I really like this line where this guy says we're all professional dreamers out here, and I'd seen the documentary as well, so I was like, yeah, that's perfect. And I just saw the cover, so then we kind of decided yeah, it's a strong title for an album. And when we started thinking about it more, we felt like it was a good thing right now to talk about, because a lot of the songs, I guess, it's about that, about dreaming and thinking for yourself and not thinking for what people expect you to think or do what people expect you to do.
And do you think there's a difference between living your dream and dreaming your life? Is that a mentality from the album? Is it in that situation?
Well, I guess at first you gotta dream your life, and then you live your dream. Because, I mean, you gotta. What I mean is, you gotta find out what your dream is first, in order to be able to live your dream. But those two are very connected. I think you should do both.
Yeah, and I think it's very important to find your own dream, and not the dream that people tell you. You know, right now I see a lot of young people that want to get famous, for example. And I think if they would really like think about it, I don't think their dream is to get famous. Their dream is probably to be successful in something. And I think it's very important that you find your own dream and not what is expected of you.
Let's talk a little bit about the history of your band. 4 years ago, Cosmic left the group, and he's now back with you on tour and everything. Did the sound change when he wasn't on board, or is it that he brought a new flavor when he came back?
Yeah, I don't think it was. Actually, I don't think it had anything to do with that, because I remember when we put out Good Things, he told me, he was like, damn, you did like the best album so far, and I wasn't on this one. So I think, no, it didn't have to do with the sound, but of course, like it changed us as a group when he left, and when he came back, I think it brought us, like, we had a good mentality. We had a self-confidence. We felt good about our group, and it was a nice thing that he came back. But I don't really think it affected the sound that much, as far as like the productions and stuff like that.
And as you said, you had your performance earlier this day. It was a great show, by the way. Loved it. And when you produce your music, your songs for the new album, for example, do you consider that it has to be good, has to be live, real great song, or just do you more focus on the LP that you're making?
No, we just gotta do what comes natural. We can't really decide what it's gonna sound like, but I know a lot of times when we get an idea that we know is gonna work good live, we get excited about it, like, oh, this is gonna work so well in a live set. So like we get really amped up when that happens, but we don't usually think about if it's gonna work in a live show, or if it's gonna work on the radio or in the club. We just gotta do what comes natural, and then when we start to hear, okay, this is gonna be, this is going this direction. It could be a live song, or it could be a radio song, it could be a club song. Then this is the car song, or this is like the headphone song where people get into it. Then we try to max that out and be like, okay, so now we know what we're going for, and we're gonna go even more for it.
Like to build the character of the song. We've been talking about a lot lately, actually, and I think that's a good thing. Like, if you have a special quality in the song, we try to take it even further in that direction, so the songs will stand out from each other. So it won't be like an album that sounds pretty much the same. It's supposed to be an album where there's like 14 different tracks.
And let's come the last question for today. We don't want to bother you anymore. What can we expect from the Loop Troop in the next months, next years? What do you have planned for us?
Well, right now our plan is to do this summer tour of mostly festivals right now, and after the summer we don't really know. I mean, hopefully we're going to do another European tour, I hope, and probably go back to the States after the summer. And from then on, we don't really know. We're not really good at making plans. We never really make plans, and whatever happens, happens. But hopefully there'll be a new Loop Troop album sometime, you know. But we never know. I mean, everything could end tomorrow, but hopefully we'll be here.
And also, like, we just came out with the new video for Magic, and it's on looptrooprockers.com. And what we're gonna probably do maybe not next month, but maybe the month after, it's gonna come with a new video, and we're gonna try and release as many videos as possible for this album. We got about 3 videos in the pipeline right now. Like, we've already put out 4, and there's at least 3 more coming, and hopefully even more. So check out looptrooprockers.com for updates, and I don't know, we got a lot of people on Facebook too. I'm not really on Facebook. I'm doing the Twitter thing. He's the Facebook guy. So, like, however you want to find us, you can find us. And we got the videos there. And Magic was edited by Cosmic, so we're starting to do more and more videos ourselves as possible as well. Like.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the interview. Thanks for sharing your time with us. And it's a tradition on Rap Spot that the artists have the last words in our interview. So you gotta share everything with us that you want to do.
Well, we gotta say thank you guys for having us, and we really appreciate you spending your time. And we are the Looptroop Rockers.
And I don't want to say something. I just want to show this. Love.
All right.